This week on Today's Homeowner, we're making big changes to the outside of this 70-year-old cottage as our First Time Homeowner series shifts into high gear with a full-scale exterior makeover. Can you say curb appeal? We're right in the middle of our 6-part First Time Homeowner series. My daughter Chelsea has just bought her first house. She's moved in and is learning the ropes of homeownership and improvement. Since we started following this process with the camera, people in the home improvement business have gotten interested and wanted to help out. So with a break on materials and a dad with a construction company, Chelsea's dream projects are coming together sooner than she had imagined. And since you're along for the ride, you're getting an up-close look at what that entails, whether your budget allows you to tackle one or all of them. But right now, Chelsea's in the middle of making some really big decisions. First of all, the tree. What do you think?
Well, I think it needs to go.
Good.
I can only imagine a hurricane coming and ruining any work that we've done.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great tree, but it's in the wrong place and you can't transplant it. Removing that tree and some of these larger shrubs will also help this house look not quite so short and squatty. In fact, Chelsea has another idea to add some character that may help add some height too.
I would like to add a front porch. I don't know how easy or hard that would be, but I just think it would make it look cozy.
It'll be kind of limited though if you think about it, because you've got the setback. You know, you may only be able to add 12 or 14 inches there. You think that's enough?
Oh, that's all I need, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that one, how they have the 2 chairs and then there's enough leg room.
And the gable roof, you see what that might allow is having that gable roof up here.
Yeah.
Can make this thing seem a little taller.
Yeah.
Besides adding a new porch, we know we'll be replacing these old, inefficient, single-pane windows thanks to our friends at Geldwin Windows and Doors. Once we add a few changes to the garage and the aging deck to our list, Chelsea gets busy with the legwork.
Okay, well tell me the reason why you want to change them.
At the local Home Depot, the millwork pro, Shay, helps her decide on the particulars of her new Geldwin windows.
I'm looking for something energy efficient, a little more maintenance free.
Okay, good. Let me tell you, we do have something to offer for you. Geldwin has a premium vinyl window that's going to give you a good insulation to your home.
And for even more efficiency and character, the folks at Exterior Portfolio are hooking Chelsea up with brand new solid core siding. Choosing the new siding and accessories is really easy because Exterior Portfolio has an online design tool called Dream Designer, which lets you upload a picture of your home and then try out a variety of options for siding, trim, and tons of architectural details. Visualizing these changes is always difficult for homeowners, and this tool removes the uncertainty.
Oh, wow, that looks a lot different.
You can even order a sample board that combines your selections so there's no guesswork at all.
Oh, that looks really good.
That does look good.
But this is the...
So that's what they'll send you?
Yeah, and then this is, looks like that's on the back of it is my house with everything mapped out.
My excavation contractor, Wesley May, is bringing by his backhoe to jumpstart the removal of those trees and shrubs. But there's still plenty to be done by hand.
Yeah, there needs to be a mountain of this stuff trimmed out, honey. It's an ugly bush.
Well, you know what? People might say the same thing about you, but we still keep you around.
She'll end up cutting that down, I guarantee you.
What?
I just said,
I heard you whispering and then you look at me like that.
Once the overgrown landscaping is cleared, we can start work on the small front porch we're adding. At the outset, the weather isn't cooperating as we cut into the old roof to begin the process of framing the new gable. But eventually, we get some clear skies so we can finish framing the porch. Chelsea even has some samples of the new materials to help flesh it out.
Okay, this is the siding color I chose. So that's, and then this is the trim that'll be around the windows and the soffits and stuff. So kind of see what it looks like.
White windows as well, huh?
Right.
Great.
So,
Great.
and then this will go on
the shake.
Yeah, it'll go up on
up on the gable.
And probably the same color for the shutters.
Oh, I got
So
you.
to kind of tie that in.
And then you got
The
this.
shingle.
It'll go up above it. I think it's great. Now that the weather is clear, the roofers can get to work removing the old worn-out shingles so they can be replaced with the new ones Chelsea has selected. Now while they're busy making sure this place stays dry, let's check in with Joe Truini for a simple solution you can use at your house.
Here's a tip I got from my brother-in-law, Michael, who lives in Florida. And it's a way to keep your trash can lids from being separated and lost from the trash cans themselves. Start with a length of nylon cord, about 4 feet long, and tie a knot in one end. Then take the other end and feed it through the lid itself. Now this lid had holes in it already, but if yours doesn't, you can just drill them with a 1/4-inch diameter bit. And then take the other end of the cord and just tie it to the handle of the can. What you're doing, of course, is just lashing the lid to the can itself so that they don't get separated. And again, with 4 feet of cord, that's plenty of room for the collector to drop the lid, dump out the trash, and put it back. Now, an additional tip that'll, in case these do get separated, an additional tip is to write your house number right on the underside of the lid. This way, if they do get separated, maybe the neighbor will return it.
The exterior makeover on my daughter Chelsea's house is well underway. We've added a small front porch to give the front facade some height and character, and the tired old roof has been replaced with new shingles. The roof of the old garage out back got a little more attention. In fact, we removed it completely so we could frame a new one that's much sounder. Now that Chelsea's picked out her siding, it's time to get the house ready for the installation of that siding. Now this is a very brittle type of material. I've worked with it a lot over the years, and if you try to install vinyl siding over this, it breaks up, falls down, and can make the siding look so bad once it's all done. So what we're going to do is remove all of the siding all the way back to the original sheathing. Then we're going to pump insulation in these outside walls, because with an older house like this, it has no insulation in the outside walls at all. Then we'll be installing a house wrap over that for even more insulation value. Now it's kind of misty out here right now, which really plays to our favor because this siding contains a bit of asbestos, and part of the precautions in removing asbestos is to keep it nice and damp. That's because the greatest danger of this material comes from breathing the dust. So once they've suited up in protective gear, they'll soak the wall with a solution of water and liquid soap to keep it damp, suppressing the dust. As the pieces come off the wall, they're soaked again before they are bagged and taped so they can be disposed of safely. Once all the siding is down, we can start insulating these old walls, and we're doing that from the outside by drilling holes in the exposed sheathing and pumping the insulation in.
This is so cool.
Now see, every 16 inches, you see you got the joist of the studs there, and he's pumping it in. It'll just filter on up. You know, usually these houses will have fire blocking or horizontal blocking through there, but which I don't know why, but I'm glad it doesn't.
Yeah.
The insulation that's going into those cavities is a loose cellulose being pumped from a large truck-mounted hopper. The smaller voids will be sealed with spray foam to stop drafts around openings.
And you remember we were talking about how you're selecting the windows?
Yeah.
And what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking putting 2 to fill in the hole, not thinking that you could reframe the room and put in a...
Yeah, I know it. Well, because if you put in the 2,
Yeah.
then that's a little over 4 foot. The window would be that small.
Yeah.
You know, 2 of those.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't look right, or it wouldn't look original. Because this was an old porch, obviously, because of the beaded board ceiling.
To avoid that awkwardness, we're modifying the openings of some of these windows so we can put in consistently sized windows all around the house. The windows in back that are already done look incredible.
This is what I want to see back here with this triple window here. Now tell me that doesn't look a whole lot better.
That looks so good.
Because it had before, what, like 4
It had 4
or 5 old nasty wooden windows that didn't work?
Yeah.
That looks pretty darn good. I'll tell you what we could do while they're handling all of that chaos out front. We should get some tools here and go ahead and tear all the handrails off, deck boards, so we can get an idea how that deck's going to be.
I call a sledgehammer.
All right, let's get the tools here.
This kind of demolition is an area where a novice homeowner can save some money on a renovation.
Here's your sledgehammer.
Because it doesn't require any special tools or skills, but it is important to be careful because demolition is where most construction accidents happen.
Show off. Whee! Hey, you told me to hit it slow.
I'm more experienced.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
When my father-in-law drops by to check the progress, my do-it-yourself daughter becomes a tour guide for her grandfather while I'm left to finish the deck all by myself. Back around front, after the insulation holes are plugged, the house wrap goes up and Joe starts installing the windows. These vinyl units from Jeld-Wen won't transfer heat like the old metal windows, and the space between the panes is filled with argon gas, which is much less conductive than air. Add to that the low E coating, and these are some highly efficient windows. They're also impact resistant, so Chelsea won't have to worry about boarding up her windows during hurricane season. But all of that is pointless if they aren't sealed well during installation. So the guys are using butyl-based flashing tape to make sure each opening is air and watertight. The entry doors on this house are pretty weather-beaten, so Jeld-Wen sent us a few doors to replace them. The front door is a Craftsman-style fiberglass door. That means the skin is a blend of fiberglass, polyurethane, and recycled natural materials, which can be stained to look just like wood. Then the core is filled with polyurethane foam to make it extremely efficient. While we keep things moving here,
brought some refreshments.
Thank you.
why don't you check in on Jody at the Home Depot for this week's Best New Product?
You know what? I think I like this one. Now, if you're in the market for a trimmer edger, look no further than right here. This is the latest by Ryobi. And let's start right up here at the top. First of all, it's got a 24-volt lithium-ion battery. You're going to get a lot of power with this battery. It can charge up in less than an hour, and the runtime is about an hour, so you can get a lot done in that time. It's got a variable speed trigger, so I can adjust my speed here. It's got an ergonomically correct handle, so it's not going to strain my back to move this thing around. And of course, right here, the trimmer, it's got an automatic feed, so there's no bumping, and the nice thing is you can adjust the string from 11 inches all the way out to 13 inches. But take a look and see how easy it is to switch it over to an edger if you need it. It locks right into place, and you are ready to go. So if you are in the market for a trimmer edger, look no further than right here. This is a good deal.
Our exterior makeover project is gaining steam. The house now has a new roof, new windows, and doors all around. Now we just need to add the new siding. While we're waiting for the installation team to get here, the other work continues. The new front porch is wrapped with bricks that match the home's foundation, and our carpenters are right on the mason's heels, adding the columns for the front porch and trimming them out. When the siding crew arrives, the exterior portfolio factory rep is with them, and he gives me some of the inside scoop on this stuff.
Joel, I know you guys must get some great response off of the siding.
Oh, we absolutely do, Danny. It's an incredible product.
And then over here with having the foam backing for the moisture barrier and a little extra R value,
And
that's
it
awesome.
gives your home a drainage plane. It gives a place where the home can let the moisture out.
And then all of your accent pieces, I always love to see the shakes like this. I know she's planning on using these up on the gable there and seeing that in contrast with the siding.
The beautiful cabin brown, and that is the single 8 Portsmouth shake, and when you put those together, giving that staggered texture, it's just going to be beautiful on there.
And then this is going to be embedded in the gables as well, so you have that.
Yeah, and then in addition, she's going to be using a 3.5-inch lineal to give the old wood window look.
Man, what
that
a
used
great
to be done.
What a great combination, and even that's insulated.
Absolutely. So yeah, she'll have a fully insulated home on the outside of it.
Well, that's perfect. I know something else that I think is pretty cool. They're putting up some of the soffit pieces over here now, and I notice how this is a little bit different than what I've seen in the past, where it's basically kind of all of the ventilated slots are kind of hidden there.
Exactly. This is a hidden vent soffit, and what's really cool about this is your ventilation is up into the break of the soffit, so it's hidden, but it gives you the net-free airspace that's required for the intake ventilation.
That air intake is important because we're installing a solar-powered attic ventilator on the roof to exhaust the warm, moist air that builds up in attics. Because this one from Braun is solar-powered, there's no need to wire a separate circuit. More importantly, it'll come on each morning when the sun rises to start moving fresh air through the attic before the heat has a chance to build up. And it'll do all of that without adding a penny to Chelsea's utility bill. Speaking of utility bills, that foam backing on the siding that Joel showed me, it adds a 2.5 R value all over the house, but it also makes the siding more rigid so it looks more like real wood. The trim pieces that wrap the windows corners and just below the soffit also help create the authentic look of traditional materials without the upkeep. In fact, Joe Truini dropped by to take the tour while it was going up, and, well, let's just say, if you can impress Joe, you've really done something.
So you got all new vinyl windows and vinyl siding, so it's gonna be pretty maintenance-free, which is nice.
that's awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to be scraping and repainting if you don't have to.
No, Maybe you can
And
come
I
over
love the
here.
wide trim boards. You don't often see this on vinyl siding, right? And this
with the
vinyl, right? The foam on the back. It's gonna be like living in a cooler, right?
Or a heater.
Or a heater, yeah, right.
In the backyard, the old deck we've demoed is being replaced by a new, more sturdy one. And out front, the details like shutters are being installed on the newly completed siding. Now, the shutters have made such a big difference on the outside of the house. What a great before and after picture. Actually, Chelsea's coming over right now to see it for the first time since the shutters have been up. Anxious to see her reaction on that. You know, Chelsea's been really lucky to have a lot of help from a lot of great companies to get us to this point. Now it's time for her to take care of a few odds and ends. Look at that, what do you think?
It looks awesome.
There's plenty of general cleanup to be done. Plus, the old brick foundation needs a good cleaning. And the old rusty foundation vents need a fresh coat of paint. Chelsea's also prepping that new front door so she can brush on some gel coat stain. Then she's using the same shade on the porch rail to tie it all together. Meanwhile, the garage door is going in out back. And David, the siding installer, is back to add the final touches, like the gable vents and the matching caulk sealant around the windows and doors. Titebond makes this stuff in nearly 200 colors so David can match the siding perfectly. Once the front door is dry, Chelsea's itching to put on the new lock set the folks at Schlage sent us.
It's gonna look great.
But instead of an ordinary deadbolt, this unit includes a combination lock. That's a big deal to Chelsea because, as a runner, it means she won't have to worry about taking a key when she goes out for a run or forgetting the key and getting locked out.
Stephen asks, what should I use to fill the small holes in my brick walls?
The holes you're talking about that you'll find around the perimeter of a brick home are called weep holes. Now, these are very important and can't be sealed up because bricks always hold moisture and store moisture, so you need some place for that moisture to escape and air to circulate. Now, if you're concerned that insects may use that to get inside your home, well, there's something you can do there. You can find some fiberglass screens, readily available, very inexpensive. You can just cut small pieces of it like this, and then just force it into the crack to keep the insects out. Another way is to use a scouring pad like this. Again, cut small sections of it and insert it right in the crack, but you don't want to use anything that has metal in it because sooner or later it'll rust. From the beginning, Chelsea knew an exterior makeover for this 70-year-old house would make a big difference. What wasn't hidden by overgrown trees and shrubs lacked any real character, and it had more than its share of maintenance issues that needed attention. But no one, including me, expected that transformation to be this outrageous. The new porch gable gave the house the proportion it desperately needed, and the addition of new siding with its detailed trim and accessories amplifies the clean lines of this house. The new windows and doors help with that too, especially since they're all consistently sized now. Oh, what a great before and after picture. You know, Chelsea told me that the neighbors have been dropping by, paying a lot of compliments to how much different the house looks now than it did when she first bought it. But we're not finished yet. Next week, we'll be renovating the bathroom. After that, the kitchen. Then we'll be back outside to do a little yard renovation with a modest landscaping project we'll be taking on, and that'll finish up our First Time Homeowner series. I hope you'll join us each week right here on Today's Homeowner. Hey, I like the idea you had here to stain the top rail.
Oh, thanks. I like it. It's the same color as the front door, so they really tie nicely together.
Sure does.